If you want to get fast in just under 10 minutes, this is what you need to do. So my approach is always, if it comes to daily races, I always go to the world's best. So for example, I'm going to take the daily race B of this week, and if you go to the global leaderboards, all of a sudden you will see what is the best car. So this already gives you an idea on what to look for. So we can have a look that the GR Supra is a pretty good car in here. You got a couple of cars that you can use, for example the RCF, and I think there are some other cars. But we just detected our fastest car, and I'm thinking about the Supra for this week. Let's say, what can we learn from the best guy in the world? So the idea is to go into the replay and do exactly what he does, and just in the end, just to see what makes him quick. So I'm just gonna go through the replay just to explain to you what I always look on Mondays. So this is exactly how I start my week. I always have a look at what's the best guy out there doing, and I always analyze his lap. And here you will be able to detect all of those things that you were looking for. So he's using the most track, and the most important part, where is he using that track? Exactly what kind of approach he has into every single turn, and where is he actually abusing the track limit. So you can see in turn 1 at Monza, he's abusing the first corner, and now he is climbing onto that curb on the left just to get a better acceleration and more track on the way out. So this is quite, well, this is quite an aggressive approach, but it really gives you an idea on what to look for. So we will have a look at it again, even from a different angle, and you will be able to see exactly how he is positioning the car on the track and how much track is he actually using. So using a lot of those curbs, very aggressive on the power. I know this can be, well, it can be quite sketchy to catch the car, but it gives you a really good idea on what to look for. We can of course go through the other corners of this track, and as well as you can probably tell, I'm just gonna go into this corner. We can find the braking point, we can find the turning point, and we can also find the amount of track that he is using. So these are usually the first steps for me, and the next thing, or for example in the next run, or what I do is exactly how much braking pressure is he applying in each turn. So for example, if we go back into turn 1, you will be able to see that exactly how much braking pressure he will be applying in each turn. So I'm going back slightly, and I'm just gonna have a little look at the braking, and that's the most important part of any, I would say any racing game, any car out there, any track. This is the most important part, like using the most track, and then what's going to happen, how much brakes is he using. He's onto 100%, but now I'm just having a little look, when is he starting to turn in, and also how much braking is he using right now. So you can see that even if we go frame by frame, you will see that he's slowly decreasing the braking pressure, and this is the most important part. And all of a sudden he is turning, but he's not turning with 100% of braking, he's turning with just about 30 to 40. This is usually called trail braking, and it's really hard to do, but it really gives you an idea on how much braking pressure to apply. And I believe the most important part is in the technical section, where he's not applying all 100% of braking. So what gears to use, how much track do you need to use, all is here. And now let's have a little look at the brakes. So the brakes will not go all the way up to 100%. He doesn't want to lock up that car. He wants to have all of that grip available for turning. Now 50-meter sign, he's braking in the 4th gear on the way out. Once again, it really gives you a good idea on what gears to use, when to downshift, how to downshift, and in the end, how much braking pressure you should be applying. So for example, we're gonna go in here once again, detecting a couple of things. So it's the 50-meter mark, but is he braking at the 50-meter mark? No, he's gonna be braking a little bit later, just as he passes the 50-meter mark, and that's the crucial point. So brake a little bit later than, let's say, the 50-meter mark, and now how much braking pressure is he applying? So let's have a little look. He's going all the way up to, let's say, 80-90%, but quickly dropping down to 50. So he doesn't want to stop that car too much. He wants to keep that car going. And that's exactly why is he getting up to 50% of braking. So a little bit of trail braking. And what I spotted right there, if we go and have a little look once again, I'm just going to go back. We can see the acceleration point. So I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, and look at this. So this is exactly the point where is he starting to accelerate. You can use different well, you can use pretty much anything around you. For example, if we have a little look into this corner, you will be able to see that there are a lot of references that you can use. So the references that I use are always for braking, turning, acceleration. I use it for pretty much anything. And here you can see those marshals right there are a pretty good reference to start accelerating. And that's exactly what is he using. I would say that I usually use references that don't move, like stationary references. For example, the curbs can be quite a good indicator, the marshals that are always here. The shadows can be quite tricky because they usually move because of the weather changes. So he's using this mark to start accelerating. He's accelerating up to 100%, and all of a sudden he's much faster to the corner. And then again, we can watch the 50-meter sign. He's braking a little bit before the 50-meter sign this time, and then again starting to accelerate. So this is what really gives you, well, this approach will really give you an idea on what to look for. So this is a pretty good example on what I do each week and how I progress through the lap. So I just split my driving to, let's say, driving to analyzing 50-50. So I watch most of the time and then I just try to get it on the track and make it to work, which is definitely not easy, but analyzing your mistakes and analyzing your laps will definitely make an impact. And you don't need much time to do it. So again, if we go back into this corner, you will be able to see how much actually track is he using and how much of those curbs is he using. And even if we have a little look like here, you can see that he's really abusing the curbs. And for example, if you were not doing that, you were just about, well, half a tenth, maybe even a tenth slower in this specific corner. So this is something that needs to be addressed. So getting onto this curb, abusing the curb, and then getting onto the power as quick as possible. And then you'll be able to see on how much track is he using and how much of that, well, how much of that force is he getting around the corner. And eventually the speed that he's carrying is always going to be a lot quicker. So this is what I usually do. I just watch the best, learn from the best, and then eventually I try to implement it myself. So into this turn, you will be able to see, and when is he starting to release the brakes. That's also the most important part, because now this will give you a better entry speed, and also it will give you a much better exit speed. So he's coasting most of the time, and all of a sudden he's starting to accelerate. So most of this part was actually coasting. He wasn't touching the brakes, he wasn't touching the accelerator, it was just coasting and waiting for the car to turn in. And then again, we can have a little look about this corner, and then you will be able to spot a reference here, and that's usually the pole on the right. So this replay or this approach can really give you a good idea on what to look for and exactly how to approach every single track. And it's not going to take more than 10 minutes. This is usually a very simple approach and very easy thing to do. And replays, well, we can have a little look up there. The replays are always available, so you don't have to look far, you don't have to go into tutorials. You can just go here, have a little look at the leaderboards, and there you go. Usually, if you post a lap time into the top 10, your lap will be posted. If you cannot get into the top 10, yeah, you will have to save the replay and go into your replays to actually watch it. This is what I do. I always, whenever I'm trying to do anything or whenever I'm trying to improve my lap, I always search for the best guy out there on the leaderboards. Then I analyze his lap. Then I'm just looking at how much track is he using. Is he abusing any parts of the circuit in particular? Is he using those curbs? And then again, when is he starting to brake and how is he starting to brake? Is he using 100% of the brakes, or in some cases if he using only, let's say, 50 or 60% of the brakes? And then I'm just trying to spot exactly when is he going to start releasing the brakes, and also when is he going to start accelerating. So these are the steps that you need to do to get quick around any circuit in any game, and I think it really helps in the long run. So guys, once again, thank you very much for watching this video, and if you got any questions, please let me know down in the comments. So once again, thank you and bye.